What's up, Simski gang? You already know what the fuck going on. Big Ski in the building. You already know what the fuck going on. Hey, look, tap in, like, subscribe, hit that fucking notifications button. And we gonna tap in. We gonna rock out together. Y'all already know how the fuck I'm coming. Hey, look, I'm about to be bringing more energy to this shit, more reactions, all types of shit. Big Ski in the fucking building. Make sure you share this shit too, and go follow me on Twitch. My Twitch is the same name as my YouTube. The link gonna be in the description. Hey, but let's get into this video. Ski.
In January 2015, a group of New Zealand film students were recording outside their school at Auckland's Parnell railway station. The footage you're seeing now was recorded by a student named Chris Meir. For a few minutes, Chris and his friends were messing around and having fun as they filmed. But that's when the group spotted a man and a woman wearing creepy white masks hiding in the tall grass next to the station and staring ominously
Boy, I
at the
would
camera.
get up out of there, especially I got that pistol on me. I would get up out of there. Boy, I'd be like, boy, what's down? Y'all just stand. Oh yeah, y'all got this moving around. Oh yeah, I would let that pistol out.
As it was later revealed, Chris and his buddies first thought that the masked people were probably pranksters from the school trying to creep them out, which is why they can be heard laughing throughout the footage. However, the students later confessed that it was more so nervous laughter and that they were actually pretty terrified during the encounter. Disturbingly, looking at the footage, they noticed that the couple appeared to be armed. In some of the clips, it looks like one of them is holding a pistol.
Oh, you got a pistol too?
Where's the other one? Where's the other one?
See this? I can't see what I want to see.
I don't see him.
But see the song, boy, she.
As soon as the suspects got a little
Boy,
too
y'all
close
some
for
couple
comfort, the group
community
ran back to the
motherfuckers,
main
boy.
road,
Y'all
after
too up.
which they reportedly saw police
Y'all
chopper
play with
approaching
anything.
the area of the incident. It's not entirely clear who called the cops that day, but based on my research, this wasn't the first time the couple had harassed the public with their creepy masks and weapons. Earlier that week, they had terrorized a woman at Auckland's Domain Park, but left before the police were able to arrest them. When the cops arrived at the train station, Chris and his friends gave them the report, after which the Auckland Police Department uploaded a Facebook post where they urged the suspects to come forward and warned civilians to stay far away from the masked couple if they saw them. They also cautioned that if they saw someone carrying what appeared to be a weapon, they had no way of knowing if the weapon was real or fake and would be forced to approach the situation as if it were real. Shortly after that, the suspects reportedly came forward to talk to the cops. Throughout the investigation, the authorities didn't release a whole lot of information to the public about who these people were, whether their weapons were real, or what their intentions were. But one thing we know for sure is that this wasn't just an innocent prank. In fact, when a lot of people online started accusing the students of staging a prank just to get attention, a spokesperson from the school came forward to clarify that the masked suspects had nothing to do with the institute. According to an article from Vice, a police spokesperson later confirmed that the weapons were fake. But I wasn't able to find any official confirmation of this, and to this day, not a lot of people know who the suspects were or why they were terrorizing the public for no reason.
They dumb man would have
Whatever
died
the
playing
case,
on me.
it's a good thing Chris and
They
his
would've
friends
heard
were able
that.
to get away before things took a turn for the worse.
That's why I love
Near the base of
Louisiana,
Mount
Atlanta,
Fuji in
Texas.
Japan lies a forest that's known among the locals as the Sea of Trees. Interestingly, the entire forest grew out of a 30-square-kilometer patch of hardened
Forest
lava that
look
was laid
beautiful as
down by
that.
the last major eruption of Mount Fuji.
I'm real like
A
nature
little more
boy, chat, but I'm
disturbingly,
from the
though,
city.
over the years, the Sea of Trees has
You
become
know.
known as a place where people go to take their own lives. And if you venture far enough into the forest, it's not uncommon at all to find a body. Near the entrance of the forest, a sign written in Japanese reads, "Quietly think once more about your parents, siblings, and children. Please don't suffer alone, and first reach out." In July 2017, urban explorer and YouTuber Burbax ventured into the forest to see what he'd find, walking his viewers through his entire journey into the Sea of Trees. But even though the video starts out tame enough, just a few minutes into his exploration, the uploader comes across an abandoned bike, and that's when things get a little disturbing.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already
Bro,
found an
why it
abandoned
look
bike.
like a bike somebody are
Actually,
trying to
it's
set you a
nighttime.
little
Take a
ghost
look
or
at it.
somebody in the forest trying to set you up and kidnap your ass with?
I don't think it's been here a long time. What have we got in here? And it's a packet for a knife. I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag.
Step into a new 2025 Kia Sportage and set out on your next adventure. Wherever the road takes you, Sportage.
I was
offers the
seeing that
perfect
package
blend
for
of
that
performance.
knife.
It says
Gotta buy it out. See, y'all play
Can't
too
quite
much.
Make out I think this is somebody's name just here, and I'm not sure what this means.
On top of the bike, Burbex finds an empty piece of packaging for a kitchen knife, and a few minutes later, he comes across a note written on a plastic bag. The note translates to 1211 verified, Fuji Yoshida Police Station verified, meaning it's likely evidence of someone who abandoned their stuff to take their own life in the forest, confirmed by the local police station. It's incredibly haunting to think how many lives have been lost in that forest over the years, and even more disturbing to think that any random passerby could easily find the body while exploring the terrain. Over the years, the Japanese government has implemented several measures, such as placing security cameras near the entrance to track those who walk inside, as well as training volunteers to talk to the visitors who are thinking of taking their lives. Still, this hasn't stopped people from following through with it, and the fact that the media has really played a big part in sensationalizing the forest in recent years hasn't helped either. In early 2023, a man named David Meredith was taking his usual evening stroll through his neighborhood in Red Deer, Canada, when he suddenly saw a bull moose eating next to a tree. Hoping to catch a better glimpse, he hid behind the tree to watch. And that's when the moose turned around and started charging at him. To understand how incredibly dangerous this is, keep in mind that an adult male
Boy,
moose
look how big that fucking moose is. Boy, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, I lived in a wilderness, boy. We'll be eating him for months. Fuck. That's what wrong with black people now. We see anything and just think about cooking that motherfucker. Especially the fish and shit in that water, boy. You know how much fish we ain't discovered yet in that water? Boy, we still got about 1 billion fish we ain't cooked yet. 1 billion different lobsters, 1 billion different crawfish we ain't never cooked yet. You feel me? We look at shit and instantly thinking about seafood, boy, when it come from out that water. But see him right here, he going on that fucking grill. We gonna throw that barbecue sauce on that boy. We gonna flash out.
run faster than 35 miles per hour, which is almost twice as fast as the max speed for the average human male. Even though moose aren't generally aggressive, they can easily trample and kill a human if they feel threatened, which is probably what happened here. Fearing for his life, David hoisted himself up the tree next to him to avoid getting stabbed by the moose's antlers.
And they could stab you with them antlers? Oh yeah, he would've been on that grill. He would've been on that grill trying to stab me. What's happening, nigga?
As soon as he was out of the moose's reach, he started recording. For about 30 seconds, the moose just stares at David, and you can hear the uploader's nervous breathing as he waits for the moose to leave. But shortly after, the moose starts charging back and forth with its head down, which is a clear sign that it's stressed and would probably trample David if he were to come down or fall from the tree.
Damn. Animals' nerves be
Based
bad
on what he
too.
mentioned to the news station a couple of days later, David stayed in the tree for over 10 minutes waiting for the moose to leave him alone.
10 minutes?
After he climbed up the tree, he demonstrated how he
Oh,
pulled
yeah,
himself
y'all-
up by a flimsy-looking branch, which is
Yeah.
honestly one of the most concerning parts of this whole situation. That branch breaks, and David would have been at the mercy of a very angry moose and might not have lived to tell the tale. Luckily, after seeing that David wasn't coming down, the moose finally gave up and ran off, thanks to which the uploader was able to come down safely after waiting it out for around an extra half hour. In February 2018, a man named Greg Harris uploaded a GoPro video of himself riding his ATV on an unnamed trail. For the first few seconds, the footage shows pretty much exactly what you'd expect from this kind of upload. But in the blink of an eye, something extremely disturbing interrupts Greg's ATV ride. If you didn't catch it, someone had set up a metal wire between the two trees, which got caught in the uploader's helmet and forced him to stop. It's pretty disturbing to think that if Greg hadn't been so lucky, he could have been decapitated by the wire. Fortunately, as mentioned in the video description, his speed, along with the wire hitting his helmet instead of his neck, caused it to break as he passed through it. It might seem shocking that anyone would even think of doing something as incredibly evil as setting up a lethal booby trap in the middle of an ATV trail, but sadly, it's actually pretty common in the dirt bike and ATV community. Sometimes these wires are set up by people trying to keep bikers off their property. Others are set up by psychos who get irritated by the noise and decide to use violence to fix the issue. And the rest are set up by people who are just messed up in the head and want to bring harm to others for no reason. In this case, it's impossible to tell who was responsible for setting up the trap. This is just one of those videos where if the wire was set up just slightly lower, the accident could have easily been
Man,
fatal.
he could have been
Luckily, he was able
dead.
to walk away with minimal injuries, and he used his video as a way to warn
I
others to
know
watch
what
out for
Chucky
these
when
kinds of
Chucky took that
traps,
wire.
especially when riding through trees. Back in the summer of 2014, a man named Chris was biking in the mountains near Fernie, British Columbia, when he suddenly noticed what appeared to be an animal approaching him in the tall grass. Immediately, he realized it was a mountain lion, and that's when he started recording.
You can see it. There's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
At first, it's kind of hard to see where exactly the animal is, but as Chris walks towards the trail, you can see it emerging from the grass coming closer.
That is a mountain lion. And he's stalking me.
Man, you better shoot that man. That's that bitch right
Even
there.
though mountain lion sightings are rare, they have been known to attack people in certain situations. And let's just say, if you see one stalking you in the tall grass, slowly approaching as it stares you down, you can be pretty certain that you're in danger. About 2 minutes into the footage, the lion starts walking a little faster, and Chris does the one thing you never do with a mountain lion by turning his back and starting to run.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Man.
I am
See-
much bigger than you.
Over the next couple of minutes, Chris tries to get the animal to go away, but it only walks around him and continues to stalk him, staring him down in the tall grass near the entrance to the woods. A couple of minutes later, the uploader manages to take a few steps toward the main trail back to his car, but he doesn't get too far before the mountain lion cuts him off again.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
Fortunately, after a few moments of tension, the mountain lion turns around and disappears into the trees. Being in a position like that has to be downright terrifying, especially when you consider that the only reason the lion didn't attack was because it didn't want to. And had it felt more threatened, it easily could have done some serious damage. Thankfully, it was just a close call, and Chris was able to walk away from the
That's
terrifying
why you gotta
after
keep
all.
that pistol on you.
In March 2019, a 5-year-old
That gonna be my new phrase. You better keep that pistol on
in a
you.
wooded area behind their
Gotta
home
keep that
right
pistol
around
on you.
208. This was an area
He
the
could go
family
down
knew well,
anytime.
as they'd been living there for 13 years, and the girl's father, Dave Kuroda, and his wife felt completely safe letting their kid play in the woods behind their house. But at some point during that particular afternoon, the girl came across a pile of clothing in the woods, after which she immediately ran back to tell her dad what she had found. Strangely, the clothes appeared to have been cut off a person's body, and there were suspicious red stains all over the tattered, shredded outfit. After confirming the bundle consisted only of women's clothing, Dave called the Bergen County Sheriff's Office and reported the incident, feeling like it was just too out of the ordinary for a random pile of cut-up clothes to appear near the entrance of the woods so close to his home. Even though this was the first time their daughter saw the clothes, it appeared they had been in the woods for several months, which explains some of the excessive wear and tear, but not the suspicious cuts and stains all over the outfit. Immediately, Fairlawn police started asking the public if they could identify the clothes, hoping that it was just a prank rather than something more sinister. Unfortunately, nobody came forward, and until the clothes can be linked to some sort of crime or to a victim, they can't be accepted for testing by the police department. To this day, the cops from the Fairlawn Police Department haven't been able to match the clothing to anyone in particular. And at this point, all we can do is hope that whoever those clothes belonged to did not come to the harrowing fate that the dark reddish stains imply.